The year is 6000 BC. You are a woman living in an early farming village. No gym, no protein shakes, no rest days. By the time you're 20, your arms are stronger than most female athletes alive today. Not close, stronger. So what were these women actually doing every single day that built bodies like that? Here's the strange part. For most of the last century, the story we told ourselves was simple. Men hunted, women gathered berries and minded the fire. Quiet, passive, background characters in their own survival story. But bones don't lie, and bones don't forget. In 2017, researchers at Cambridge examined the arm bones of Neolithic farming women. They compared them to modern female rowers, athletes who train for hours, every day, for years. The prehistoric women's bones were denser, stronger. The rowers lost. Bone isn't a dead, fixed thing. It's living tissue, loaded again and again, and it thickens, reshapes itself, builds reinforced ridges exactly where the stress hits hardest. Scientists call this Wolff's Law. Your skeleton is a printout of your workload, and these women's skeletons were printing out years of brutal, repetitive, full-body labor. So what was that labor? Grinding grain. Every single day, for hours, women pushed and pulled a heavy stone tool called a quern back and forth across grain. Full upper body resistance training, except nobody called it training. It was just Tuesday. Carrying loads, water, firewood, children, gathered food, often all at once, often for miles. Studies of modern hunter-gatherer women found they routinely carry loads equal to a huge share of their own body weight. Processing hides, scraping, stretching, working animal skin into usable material for hours at a time. Brutal on the forearms, the grip, the shoulders, and then there's the discovery that really broke the old story wide open. In 2020, archaeologists in the Andes uncovered a 9,000-year-old grave. Inside, a young woman buried with a full big-game hunting kit, spear points, animal processing tools, the kind of burial that, for decades, would have been labeled male on site. That discovery sent researchers back to re-examine similar ancient hunter burials across the Americas, using actual skeletal analysis instead of assumption. The result, something like a third to half of those hunters were women. For decades, nobody checked. A spear in a grave meant man, case closed, until someone finally looked at the bones themselves. And this wasn't limited to the deep past. Researchers studying the Agda people today have documented women hunting large game directly, often while also caring for children. At the same time, not instead of. Then there's the part almost never mentioned. These women were doing all of this while pregnant and while recovering from childbirth. No modern pain relief, no maternity leave, heavy manual labor, again and again, across an entire lifetime. Scientists have also found permanent markings called enthesial changes, spots where muscle once pulled hard on bone, over and over, for years. Across multiple sites and time periods, prehistoric women's skeletons show constant, demanding upper body activity. Even pottery and weaving, jobs stamped women's work and imagined as gentle, meant hours of kneading clay, spinning thread, working a loom by hand. Physically relentless. Here's something else that stands out. Some research suggests the strength gap between men and women was actually smaller in these early societies than in the farming and industrial ones that came later. The gap we assume is natural may have widened over time, shaped less by biology and more by which jobs got handed to who. So, were these women strong? The evidence doesn't leave much room for doubt. Bones denser than modern athletes, burial sites rewriting who the hunters really were. A daily workload most modern gyms would call excessive, carried out for a lifetime, alongside pregnancy, childbirth, and raising children. The old picture, the quiet cave woman waiting by the fire, was never really written by the evidence. It was written by whoever happened to be doing the interpreting. The proof was in the bones the entire time. It just took long enough for someone to finally look.